Call. Two men. One named Rich. That's me.
This is Jermaine. Just got off the toilet.
He's a foul man. This is the X's and O's of life.
Huh?
We should come up with a different intro.
That doesn't get old to me, but go ahead.
Nah, but I feel like it'd be nice to have a few options.
Yeah, we can have like record like 3 or 4 of them and just keep rotating.
Yeah. Okay. So, I feel considerably better than I did last night. I feel considerably better from when I recorded this morning. So that's gonna get
what are the major differences? I mean, like, when you say considerably better, what dropped off, or what was going on yesterday that is no longer going on, or that you feel better? Still cold, still coughing, but
that's not happening.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What to say? Less congestion. You just feel overall.
I wasn't even congested, man. I just had like this like weird tickle in my throat, and it would do this whole like, hey, you're gonna cough once, and by once I mean about 10 times, and then you're gonna try to.
In the throat? That was my ball hairs.
Oh.
I tried to hit you with your own type of joke, but go ahead.
Yeah, you did. Well, you know, it was shitty, man, because I was like coughing so hard, I threw up over the fucking banister and shit. It was nuts.
Damn, seriously?
Yeah. But I am considerably better now. I have been taking shots of Tussin like I'm in a club. Been taking all the Tylenol. The Tylenol kind of sinus stuff, and that's because I found if I literally press
taking shots in the club. Can you imagine motherfucker be in the club with a bottle of Tussin? Like,
yeah,
he's just popping bottles of Tussin.
Wouldn't be mad about it. I get it. Sometimes you gotta go hard in the paint. But yeah, super glad. And I think we've kind of covered this little aspect, but I'll just kind of touch on it again because I'm always like super appreciative of this. I love getting sick. It sounds stupid. I love getting sick because when I'm not, like, after I'm done, I have such a lust and appreciation for life. I'm just like, oh my God, everything's so great. And like because you don't appreciate being in like good health when you're in good health.
So you off that whole adage of what's a sunny day if every day's a sunny day. So you love having a rainy, shitty day to appreciate a sunny day. Yeah. So you love being sick to appreciate being well.
Yeah. And it's the strangest thing, but like, now, mind you, I'm not like rolling or spinning a wheel hoping that I land on getting sick. But when I am sick, I'm like, well, as long as this ain't fucking COVID, I should be okay. And yeah, so I'm assuming by probably midday tomorrow, I'll be back to 100%, which is great. That means I've wasted a day and a half of my days off. So fuck yeah. Stoked about that.
Why not be healthy while you're working?
But you know what, though?
You got to be healthy to work, but when you're off, you sick. That happens to me a lot.
But you know what, though? It's much better than the alternative. Because I had to do that yesterday, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. I can't. Because I'm talking all day. Like, I'm going from 8 to 6:30. Like, hey, thanks for calling. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there's been times I've been sick, and I'm like 2 seconds from cussing them the fuck out. Yeah. Because it's like they already are on your nerves, and then that compiled and compounded with being sick, yeah, you might lose your job if they both have.
And what's interesting too is because I found myself kind of acting like a bit of a tractor pull, because I would say, "Hey, thanks for calling. This is Rich speaking. How can I help you?" And then like a minute into it, I'm like, "Oh yeah. So here's what we got to do here." And like I felt myself being able to speak, but it was the yesterday's volume was such where it was like 15 minutes in between people calling. So once you stop talking, your body was just like, okay, we're not going to talk. And then when it would hit, I'm like, thanks for calling. What do you want? Like I'm sounding like the fucking sisters on the Simpsons and shit. And then like
Oh,
as I started
right.
as I started talking, I was like, okay, I'm actually able to like have my words happen through my throat. So that was good. So, this is the sort of kind of Halloween episode. I'm actually going to try to do some shit after like you want to call it post production or whatever. I'm going to try to chop it up and do a bunch of cool spooky shit to it. So as of right now, we're just our bland ass selves and good stuff. But I will tell you once I do get this laptop, big things are going to be coming. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to like really just fuck with that. But so this is kind of the monster movie or monster movie monster draft, I guess. I had Tiff give me her 4.
Okay, so you said movie monster. At first, I thought you said Halloween monster, and I'm like, there's really only one that's geared specifically towards Halloween. The rest are just movies. Yeah, that people dress up during Halloween to be, but it's not really Halloween. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, zombie Jesus. Yeah. That's what I call Easter. I know that's disrespectful, but it's amusing to me. So.
Oh, see, I didn't even think about it like that.
I'm sorry,
you in the world of your own there.
I'm sorry, I ruined Easter for you. So
world of your own there. Huh?
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say fuck the other topic I was gonna do. I'll just touch on it and just kind of let inquiring minds go with it. But this is the movie monster draft, and next Wednesday, I know it's the day after Halloween, but we record football on Tuesday, and we're not switching that up because no, we're not switching it up. Fuck that. Just for a draft idea, we're not doing that. Next Wednesday, we're gonna do the actual like scary movie draft. So it seems like it's gonna cross over, but it doesn't.
Like it's gonna be the same thing.
No, because here's the thing: you can go with a scary-esque movie, and it doesn't have to have like that movie monster. It could be like that mindfuck movie, like one of those crazy thrillers. You're like, oh shit. Okay, like let's say you chose The Purge. That's not there. There isn't like a villain.
One movie I can think right off the top of my head is the movie Get Out, where there's no monster in it, but
it's white people, right?
But I'm not saying no. It's a mind fuck. I mean, like literally and figuratively. Like wow, So but there's no monster in it,
Except the white people. Right. I see what you're saying. Fuck you. Speaking of white people, that has nothing to do with anything about white people, but you see Shaft died today.
I didn't see. I seen like I walked through the like little cafeteria and I seen on the TV that it showed. I kept seeing Shaft up there, but I didn't know what it was saying, so I just walked past. I didn't really pay attention to what it was saying. Oh, okay, so that's why that was on the screen.
Yeah, he died today.
The original Shaft from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I was like I said. I walked past and the TV was down. There wasn't no volume playing, and I just like glanced at it and I seen Shaft come up, and then I don't know what they were saying, and I just walked back to my desk. And
usually, when you see some shit like that, it's either like a monumental anniversary or somebody died. That's what I've learned in life. Usually, when they have people that
in today's world, my first thought was, "Damn, they remaking that shit again." I mean, like in today's world, they remake everything 50 fucking times. Like
that's true.
You've remade something that came out every 20 years. There's damn near a remake of something. So
you see, there's another remake of Wonka. I'm like, dude, how many times are you gonna make this shitty fucking movie?
How many times? Yeah, like damn, the remake to the remake to the remake. Like god damn.
So. That's the idea for next week. The doesn't. It's not the monster. It's not even the Halloween movie. We'll just do like scary movie draft, and I may even get Tiff because it's too late for her. She got that big clit energy and got big girl panties to fill and do her job. Yeah, I mean, I'm half retarded and can do my job, so I'm like, it's fine. Yeah, oh yeah, big clit energy. Yeah, that's the thing. I fucking dubbed up in this because I'm like,
when you said it before, I was like, yo, that's some funny shit. Big clit.
I mean, yeah. So there are 3 topics, 2 of which we'll actually kind of talk about. One of which you don't even know what it is because I just Tiff brought it to my attention today. I'm like, oh, but you actually may have more insight on it than I just thought of because I just thought that you're going to have more insight because you have certain views. Yeah, this is going to be fun. All right, so the one that we're not really going to touch on that we were going to, but we're not going to anymore because I'm terrible at what I do here. So, business trips. All right. So I have been cheated on via a business trip. Shout out to Candace, you dirty fucking whore. So
don't you say that about me?
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I love you forever. So, I had someone on the phone yesterday, and they said something or another about their husband, is out till next week because he's on a business trip, and I just had like a weird, fleeting thought, just because this is how my brain works. How many of business trips that actually go down now, especially in the digital age, because you brought up that point, are actual business trips and not you just fucking your like mistress?
Yeah.
I
mean,
it just seems like such an easy out.
So if we had a scale of 100 business trips that's out there floating around, how many would you say are true business trips?
Dude, I would say it's got to be 50-50 at this point.
Really?
I actually would have had a different ratio if I didn't think of Teams and Zoom and yada yada.
I mean, that's the only perspective I could really provide or input I could provide was in today's world, 2023, you could be sitting up there having a meeting with 6 to 8 boxes, and one motherfucker's in Hawaii, another motherfucker's in Angola or some shit. Like, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah,
of having business trips? And 10 years ago, yes, you actually had to travel, and there was a seminar or a collaborative meeting that everybody went to. I mean, when I worked at said company, we went to Harrisburg, and we went to Erie and Seven Springs and stuff for these said business trips. But for convenience and for company money and company travel and paying expenses, Teams and all of this. Now that you can share your screen and see people on camera, the actual necessity of a business trip no longer exists in 2020.
Well, yes and no, and here's why. Because
unless you just really want these people to physically interact.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is definitely a part of it because team or companies are very much about team building and things like that. I don't know. So with the wife's job, she actually has to survey places, so she has to physically go there and do shit like that. That's fine. That makes sense. That's where in the beginning of the year she was going to Missouri and fucking Philly and yada yada yada. She's going to Chicago in a few weeks now, probably to fuck somebody. So,
yeah.
I'm just happy she can share my disappointment. So, shout out to Bad Pussy. I'm sorry, I'm joking, but yeah, I'm just making sure everyone got that joke. This is my wife. Yeah. So here's the thing. So I think all right, 2 points. So especially with international meetings, you definitely aren't traveling over to China to fucking, bow down to, whatever. But here's the other part.
Maybe another state, but a different country. No, no company's gonna bite the expense off on that one.
But here's the other part though. So you think of a business trip. how much of that business trip is just meetings? You know, I think that's a part of it. So I think it still is necessary in certain, avenues and instances because
When you're on a business
know.
trip, like I said, I've been on plenty of those leadership, retreats and all of that. And like you said, I mean, from maybe 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. to maybe 3 or 4 that afternoon, that's the business where the meetings and the seminars and basically a company's sucking their own dick and saying, "Look at us suck our own dick and we're great,"
Right.
and that's all those meetings amount up to. But the rest of the evening, from 5 to pretty much until you go to bed that night or go back to your hotel,
It's an orgy.
I ain't gonna say partying, but it's socializing. It's, hey, let's meet at the like typical one of those
Speaking of
trips
sucking
would be typical one of those trips would be, whole meeting, talk about this, blah 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 blah, and then 4 to 6, usually whoever is, director said slash leader, take everybody to dinner. We would all go to, some type of restaurant, Mexican restaurant, or something that may be native to the area. That is a well-known establishment that people may want to eat at, or get a souvenir experience type. And
Right.
then from there, 7 to 9 would be, hey, let's go get drinks somewhere, happy hour, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then from that point, either you go back to your room and get ready for the next day, or you flirt around and mess
find
with whoever you
find something to poke on.
Yeah, and that's how that goes. So
Yeah, business
that's in
meetings.
my experience. That's the only input I have on it. Because I have worked in
Yeah.
management aspect where I have been on a business trip. But as far as me cheating on any individuals on a business trip, or me being cheated on a business trip, I have no input there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even about that part of it necessarily. I mean, even though, it is, but it's not. It's not like a personal experience that I'm delving into. It's just one of those weird, fleeting thoughts of like, it was a shower thought. Honestly, it was a shower thought. It's like, I wonder how many of these things are really like, because you always hear the story of like, oh, well, Jim went on the business meeting and came back and found out he was fucking his mistress.
Yeah,
And it's just like, that's how the
my
stories
thing is,
always
if
start.
you're fucking somebody at the job, you
Well, it's not
don't
even a
necessarily
business
have
trip.
to.
No,
You
no,
don't
no, no.
necessarily have to hide behind a business trip to get that done. I mean, you could just be like,
No,
"Oh,
no,
I'm
that's
staying
the
late over for work."
no, that's the trick. You say it's a business trip, but you're just fucking Nancy that you fucking met on fucking
And
Tinder.
there is no trip even scheduled.
Right. Yeah. You're just like, banging Nancy up in Ohio.
And why I got named out Nancy? He didn't say Nancy twice.
Because there ain't no fucking sexy names in Ohio, motherfucker. Believe me, I've
Nancy's
listen,
a sexy name to you? That sounds like somebody that wrote
No.
them, that writes
Listen.
it for the fucking Tribune or some shit.
I'm if I count in my head right, I'm pretty sure I fucked like 5 girls in Ohio and none of their names are like attractive. So it just is an Ohio thing. So legit. Oh, I'm going through the names now. Oh.
You probably fucked us up, Mildred.
Nah. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. But yeah, it was just random. It's just that weird thought. So we'll do the other topic, then we'll get into the dark topic, then we'll get into the draft. So the other topic, in my line of work, and in probably your line of work to a degree, maybe, I don't know, but
no, not really.
No, you lucky.
Yeah, because it's one thing to provide customer service, and then there's another thing to try to collect money, and you don't want.
Yeah.
Say your topic before I don't want to spoil your topic, but good.
No, I get it. So it's outsourcers. So.
And we mentioned these before because when we worked at said job.
Yes, but I didn't really delve into it too much. Well, put on your little booties here because we're gonna fucking jump into the deep end here because here I have a few different little ideas here. So one, I fucking hate them with a fire of 1,000 suns. And it's not just at my company; it's at pretty much all companies. And I'm gonna tell you why, and then I'm gonna tell you my inverse idea on it too. So I'm not like took our jobs, America. I'm not that guy. I don't give a shit about that. There's plenty of jobs.
Oh, you don't have a pickup truck with the eagle in the back window with a flag hanging off the back of the fucking truck bed?
No, I just have a no. I just have.
You're not Trump's apprentice.
No, I just look. I just have my hood I wear on Saturdays. Come on, fuck.
You got sequins on your cake on your Grand Wizard hood, little thing. Have you bedazzled?
I was gonna say, bitch. Did you not think I bedazzled that? Come on, fuck out of here. Shit. Amazon Prime, bitch. Let's go. Yeah. So, I don't care about that. There's plenty of jobs to be out there. If you are really that. If you're hammering down that idea of they took our jobs, dude, they're not taking taking away great jobs. Just saying. So if you're really that upset about them taking them jobs, maybe you should finish college or preschool, whatever.
They're taking jobs that you passed over that you didn't want, or you clearly stated you didn't want until you found out that who's making what. But yeah, they're not taking your jobs, but
it's kind of like and the girls ain't gonna like this one. It's kind of like whenever women use women speak, and it's like, no, I know, I don't want you have something to eat there. And like, no, you can have it, and then you eat it. Then they're like, why'd you eat it? The fuck? How can you complain about something that you didn't want, but then you wanted it, but you didn't want it? Same thing about the took our jobs people. It's like, okay. You can't complain about that. You're just like, hey, you're a different color. I don't like you. Let's find a reason why.
Yeah.
So, I'm not that guy. But
a lot of those people that are bigoted like that, they don't even realize it. They don't even see it. Like, they are ignorant to the fact that they are being racist. They don't even know it. They're like, what? What's wrong with that? All jobs in America for real Americans. And it's like, okay.
Did you listen to the last episode? The one that I do stand in for you?
You do stand in for me?
No, the last X's and O's. Did you listen to that one yet?
Nope.
We literally cover that. Like, that is like a 30-minute thing we go off of. So it's like, damn, it's like you were there in spirit. Shit. So here's my thing. So the thing that is frustrating is I don't even care about the language barrier. That's fine. Sometimes it's a little thicker than
you don't care about the language barrier. That's the biggest barrier to it.
No, to some. So I've dealt with them so many times. It's not a it's not a thing for me. It's just like
to me, the outsourcers are nothing more than one step above the AI that won't let you get to a person.
Fair.
The automated IVR, the outsourcers is nothing because they talk repetitive and robotic as if they are the AI. So
that's where I was going. Like the language barrier is low on the totem pole of gripes I have. My issue is, especially in my line of work, if you don't stay in their lane, in just their very thin one-way street lane, it's like throwing water.
Their vocabulary is very minute. They only know certain sentences and certain words. So you can ask them, put it this way, you ever have one of those, I guess, like aptitude tests where they ask you a question, right? And then they might ask you 50 questions, but they ask the same question 4 times, but 4 different ways. That is trying to receive a different response. These motherfuckers can't answer 3 of the 4 questions a different way. That means the same thing. If they only know their one program response, like suppose, okay, you're an outsourcer. Let's suppose you're an American outsourcer for, you know a little bit of French, or you know a little bit of their language, or you know a little bit of Arabic, or you know a little bit of Indian or Hindu or whatever, and you're working in their country, and all you really know is English, but off of the little bit of book that you read or whatever, you know certain phrases, and that's all you know. You don't know the slang of those phrases. All
Right.
you know is the exact cookie cut fucking response that you were taught and that you learned, and the only thing you can do is repeat that because you don't know the slang. You don't know, like, if you say to an outsourcer, "Hey, is this tech coming for my appointment?" They're gonna be like, "Yes, he is scheduled to arrive." But if you turn around and re-ask that same question, say, "So he gonna show up at fucking 3:30?" Yes, he is going to arrive. They're gonna keep saying the same dumb fucking response because they're one step above AI. And that's all they know. Now you ask them some shit in their language, they can fucking give you fucking like 9 different answers.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem because it is very if you and even if it's God, it's so frustrating because how many cleanup in aisle 6, 7, 8, and 9 I have to do after someone speaks with them, and it's I used to think it was a thing where they just didn't care. They just don't know. Like they can't do.
My experience was the same at said job where 90% of the I want to speak to a supervisor was just sitting and taking the ear beating. Like everything was done. Like there was nothing else that could be done, but they just wanted somebody to vent and complain to about they're taking our jobs.
Right, which is just so
listen
stupid.
to that shit, man. And it was just like, okay, I was just like a punching bag. That was just all I was.
I mean, at that point, you're like, hey, shut the fuck up. Just
I'm
what do you
just
want us
saying,
to do?
like, I want to say, when you get your complaints about said outsourcers, isn't it mainly you just, like you said, instead of clean up in aisle 9, like, are you really doing anything to clean up? All you're doing is you're just taking the brunt of their frustration.
No. I'm absolutely cleaning up because they fucking destroy everything.
Oh, okay. So they've actually made mistakes. Yeah.
They are fucking category 6 fucking hurricanes. It is infuriating. So the problem, and this goes along with the language barrier and maybe the ability to, parlay sentences or whatever. They, based on I'm going to go with the limited language aspect. They are very placating and people pleasing to people. Like, for example, if there is an appointment set up and then they add them to the wait list, they are so overzealous with their words that they actually make the people believe that the wait list
that is
the real appointment.
Yeah.
And then we get that call, and it's like, where the fuck is my appointment? They said they'd be here. And it's like, no, the appointment's actually,
It's them trying to avoid conflict. So
yes,
they don't want the conflict of not satisfying the customer to turn into their skirt getting pulled up that they only know a few American sentences or they don't even know a few English sentences. So they promise wild and outlandish promises that you and I can have with a customer and say, hey, this appointment's not guaranteed. And even if they try, because you get customers that'll sit there and try to walk you through or force you to try to say something on the phone. So you're saying my appointment's from 2:30 to 4:30. No, I didn't say that. I said that if an opening opens up, so it's from 2:30 to 4:30. No, again, I did not say that. They don't have that oomph for that kickback. Right. It's going to be like, yes, sir, yes. And they just let it go.
Now, because they don't want to. Here's my question, though. Do you think that is for lack of a better term, a character flaw in those people? Or is it, I can't lose this job because if I lose this job, I can't provide for my 9 brothers. I'm sorry, that was mean.
Damn, that was mean.
Fuck them. Do you think
you just imagine like 9 of them in a hut somewhere and shit? You
Right.
stupid as hell. No, I just think they
You know
are.
they have a short leash over there, right? Like, if they get one complaint, they're
Oh,
on
they
like
yank them. They yank 'em. Because it's like one of those things where here, you got to go through the process and
Mhm.
get hired and interviewed and all of that. For them, it's like you know, 15 people waiting outside, like
Right.
waiting on somebody to make a mistake so they can jump in there. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
mean, so like
So do you think
we,
that has something to do with it? That they're just very like, I will say anything I need to say to keep you happy because there's that fear of God there, or are they just not? Are they just not like not know what they're doing? Or is it a mixture? Like I don't
I
know.
just think that I think it's conflict. You know, I'm not saying that they're not a conflictual type of people. I'm just telling you, it's easier to avoid conflict in another language than it is to take conflict
Yeah,
on in another language. I mean,
because
this
you
is
don't know
not their
you
first
barely know
language.
the basics. You barely know the basics. How are you going to get in there and really have like an argument with someone that's getting into the idiosyncrasies of this,
Yeah, I
that, and the
mean,
other?
like if they were somehow working for a company and they were speaking to their own people that spoke their own language, it would be a conflict fucking show. But because they don't have the tools to argue properly
Right.
or conflict properly with a customer, they become a yes man and woman. It's like, okay, yes, sir, yes, yes. And then in their
And
head, they're like, I don't give a fuck if I tell him the sun is fucking gonna be fucking pink with fucking blue
right.
rainbows over top of it. If to get them off my phone, they rather be wrong during their interaction and say a little as possible than to say too much and then to get them fired.
And the
So
other
it's
part of
almost
that is
like people don't realize that not saying or not sharing information is a form of lying itself. But
lying by
people
admission.
like it's like, hey, were you at the stadium yesterday? Nope. Between 5 and 12, did you do this? Nope. But you didn't say, but I was down the street fucking. You know what I mean? Like by not admitting certain details, that is a form of lying. So it's like they're hiding their lies by just not saying it, by not bringing it up. Out of sight, out of mind type.
It's just very frustrating and just very difficult because it just is progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And the other problem is it's so difficult to get a hold of those people to hold them accountable. It is not an easy process.
Well,
Um,
that is the problem with said company that hires them. It's
mhm.
their fault to trying to fucking cut expenses on the back half and reducing staff all over. Been reducing staff since 2019.
Yeah, but you know what? Who doesn't? Like you call Amazon, you call XYZ, you call like it's all the same. It's all like it's always like, oh, I so apologize for the frustration this has
I mean, I
happened.
understand.
It's like, man,
I understand the whole like at said company. We were staffed shoreside in the states until like 11. Now I
yeah,
understand after 11 o'clock
right,
at night, from 12 a.m. to motherfucking 6 the next morning. First
right,
of all, if you're a customer and you're calling in, that's what you fucking deserve because you waited till the
facts,
end of the call, and that would be my only justification for that. But
right,
just throughout the day, randomly at 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
yeah,
and to receive a outsourcer is
yeah.
hideous customer service to me.
It's weird. It's weird, but it's also like as Americans, we can't really complain because it's like, well, we don't really want to work weekends. We don't want to have these, later
Or even
shifts. So
weekend, like
I
weekend
tell people, here's what I tell people. I
off
tell people,
hours, off peak hours. I don't
yeah,
mind them because it's like, all right, go ahead and stand in there like puppets. Like I said,
yeah,
you're a glorified AI or a glorified answer machine, and leave your message. And if you really want to get a hold of us and get to the root of your problem, call us Monday through Friday between the hours of blah 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 and
I
blah
tell
blah
them,
blah.
adhere to bankers hours. After 5 o'clock, that's when those motherfuckers start waking up, and the ratio starts. My bad.
You said it like they were landing flies and some shit. You said that's when they start waking up.
Listen, I don't know the time difference, but that's when the ratio starts to even out a little bit. Then later in the day, look,
It's
you're
just
going.
easier to justify. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, oh, you got hideous customer service at 3 a.m.? It's 3 a.m., you fucking clown. I mean,
Right.
that's the end of that story. But
You mean to say you don't have anyone working at 3? Bitch, do you work at 3? Oh, you don't? Shut the fuck up. This
yeah,
is a gas station? Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Um,
You expect, pristine. You want your fucking balls washed and wrapped at 3 a.m.? No.
right. Like, you ever go to a bar at 1 in the morning, expect like the bartender to look at you like, hey, how are you doing? It's like, the fuck do you want?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Or you ever
I'm
go into
watching.
like a convenience store or any type of establishment 10 minutes before they close, they look at you like, if you order any fucking thing that we ain't got sitting out, you could forget it. Like, they looking at you like, don't even think about it.
And not for nothing, you think about just you ever go into like a gas station that's 24/7. You go in there after like 1 or 2. Not gonna lie, dude may have a felony or two. It's not. You're not. This is what this dude could find. This is not this dude's career path. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's just one of those like let me vent a little bit type of deals, but there's just always a bit of a wonder. I guess something that just kind of hit me. I'm like, I wonder because they are so much nicer than us. Let's be honest, they are much nicer than us. But it's almost like are they that because that's who they are, or is there literally like Abdul behind it with a gun to their fucking head?
No,
Like,
it's their nicest because that's all the phrases they know,
yeah,
and
okay,
they don't know how to. You know how remember me and you discussed at said job, we would politely jab the fuck out of the customer with
we would
fucking
not do that. Wink,
smirky ass
wink.
mother. Yeah, like with smirky ass comments and underhand and overhand fucking comments that was basically saying you're a fucking asshole, but politely saying it to them. They don't have that skill to do that in our language.
No,
They
God,
can
it's so
only
much
say
fun
the
though.
nicest. They can only say the nicest programmed responses. So,
Those are my favorites. Oh my God, I love it so much. It is so much fun.
but at my job currently, we in the collections. Yeah, we're trying to secure money.
Yeah,
We don't have time to
right.
allow the outsourcer to fucking gain money. So everything's in the States.
Yeah,
Everything's right
because
here in the area
that makes
because
a lot of
we're
sense. You
trying to
think
secure.
about
Like customer service is one thing,
yeah,
but all you do is collect money all day. You're not going to put that
yeah.
in the hands of a
No,
fucking of a motherfucker that can barely speak English.
this is true.
Nobody's paying somebody that can barely speak English. They're not going to be like, okay, here's my credit card number. No.
Right, right. Hard no, friend. Hard no.
Yeah. So
All
yeah.
right. Third topic, and this is interesting, and I am not super well versed in it. Tiffany is more, and I'm going to assume that you are probably more well versed in this too. So just popped into Tiff's office today. She was doing whatever. She's like, the end's coming, right? I was like, I mean, fair enough. And I was like, why? She's like, well, all these signs are kind of here. Like we had you know, the plague, which was, COVID, and now drought. And she's like, famine is coming. And she's like, there's something in Revelations or something like that there's some lake or river in Egypt that's like right by Gaza that's gonna be filled with blood. I'm like, well, that fucking seems like it's gonna be fitting in there.
What's going on? You said with blood or the whole Jerusalem, the attacks and all that you
Yeah,
said? Okay.
yeah. And if you saw in the news today, there's 3 other. The fuck is happening? There's like two terrorist groups that are now combining with Hamas to attack Israel, and it's like, oh shit. It's just kind of wild because how she put it out there. It's like, yeah, that fucking we're at this point just looking for the horsies now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the last days. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've heard of a story here and there, but I'm not as well versed as far as Bible scripture goes to be able to ramble off exact details to you. So
Right.
I'm not great on that input either. I mean, I've heard of the last days and certain things that's supposed to happen, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's the whole four horsemen of the apocalypse, and it's like, I mean, she did make a call out on this, and she was like, okay, let me beat the fuck out of these cats. 1 second. Hey, cocksucker, fucking settle down. Jesus fucking Christ, it's like they're on fucking meth. So
You need to be charging UFC prices for your cats.
dude, I'm telling you, these motherfuckers get scrappy. Right.
They be going at it. You know what? With my my little mouse problem, I was about to ask you to borrow one of your cats. Like, man, can I borrow somebody for a week and have them go come in here and fucking exterminate?
Listen, I'll charge you 50 per week.
Shit. I'm like, man, but I haven't seen them recently, but still, just to make a clean sweep.
Yeah.
You know, cats, they love mice to them would be like a play toy, you know?
That's the problem. So, like, they probably wouldn't kill them. They would just cripple them.
Oh, they just fuck them up.
Cripple them.
Yeah, fuck them up.
Which is terrible. Like, cats are fucking like the dicks of the animal world a little bit. Like,
they like to just play with their fruit, like play with whatever, you know, like oh, it's an amazement. Like, you can't just sit the food in front of them. They like, oh, we're gonna play with this.
Yeah. Well, so Tiff is thinking that, you know, the Antichrist might be like the head of state of Israel, like, which is weird, but apparently, like, the best way
all the information or all the stories I've been told is that the Antichrist is a lot less easy to guess like that. It's somebody that you totally
that's the thing. This is
don't believe it's going to be. It's like,
well, that's the thing. The Israel guy's the good guy.
Pointing to somebody, it's not them. It's some old Scooby Doo shit where all the clues point to this person, and then at the end they pull the hat, the mask off, and like, Mr. Wilson. Yeah, like, it's that kind.
No, that's the thing. Like, that's actually the thing, because the Israel guy is supposed to be the guy.
Like a great guy and all of that shit.
He's the guy that's trying to get everyone to kind of be peaceful and to come together. And it's like, he's not the trouble, but I mean, like, I don't know. I don't try to read into that stuff. I'm just like, look.
Yeah, I read into motherfucking what I do every day and the paychecks I pick up, and that's about it. I don't. My brain. I ain't gonna say it can't function beyond that. It's just that my brain don't really give a fuck beyond that. If it ain't affecting me or my pockets, if it ain't affecting me or my pockets or my family's pockets, then I just keep it moving and adapt and adjust.
Well,
so,
I mean,
that's why I never got into politics and all of the presidents and all of that. Them motherfuckers don't have a direct impact on me, so I don't really give a fuck.
I would say the end of days would probably have put a damper on your weekend, but yeah, fair enough. I get it.
Well, the end of days in Jerusalem don't mean shit to me. Not right now. The end of days and the end of my paychecks mean a lot to me.
True.
So,
but it's something she brought up, and I was like, it's a little fucking scary, but like, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. All right, so let's get to the fun part. Spooky season here. So, first of all, how many rounds do you want to do? Because there is plenty of people, and we're about 44 minutes in, so we got time.
Usually when we go just me and you, we just go outside. That's definitely an outside thing. Soon as you go outside, I start echoing immediately.
Oh, here, hold on. Okay, so we are doing it's not like the top 5, but well, I guess top 5. It's not really any particular order, but whatever.
Yeah.
Movie monsters. Like I said, next week we're doing the the horror movies, but today is the monsters. Now, usually don't do this. It's too late for Tiff to be awake, so we don't usually kind of add her picks in. But I figured since this is actually like a fun, holiday-esque type of deal, I wanted to get her input. Now, Avi, I'm just gonna read hers off. You guys know the general rules here. There's no real crossover stuff. In this case, if we have one that's on here between me and you, then yes, we can cross over on her stuff and do the explanation. But between me and yours picks,
she just X out her picks.
because she's not gonna, because it's just the way it's gonna be built. This isn't gonna work that way. So I'll read off hers. So she has Jason, the ring girl. I think her name is like Samara or some shit. Candyman, which the ring, the girl from the Ring movie, like the girl that comes out the well.
The Ring. I thought you said Rain movie. I'm like, Rain movie.
No.
You talking about Circle and Rainbow here?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, the Ring girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She got Candyman, which is interesting.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an interesting pick. And then Pennywise, which okay, fair enough. So kind of a bit of a standard draft there, but like I said, I mean there are those heavy hitters that you want to kind of grab, but so like I said, if me and you have any of those on that list, we can definitely mention them. But between me and you, same rules apply. Can't pick what you pick. Same, vice versa. So I will lead in. Look, it's the 101, man. It's easy. It's Mikey.
Mike.
That's
like one of the hardest. The music is one of the hardest tunes and jingles. And on top of that, I think Mikey. Well, I ain't gonna say he go back that far, but I think Mikey is probably because a lot of these monsters came out after we were born.
Yeah, he's 79.
He's the only one that was like kind of there as we were being born or before we were born. So he has longevity.
He does, and it's just once again a real simple thing. He is just silent. He don't say shit, and he's gonna grip you up and do that little fucking look.
He just hang you up, got you hanging up on a wall through a butcher knife, and he just
right.
That's he's insane.
It's not even that he's scary. He's just fucking eerie. He's disturbing.
Very.
So
I mean, some of those deaths, like the way he just brutally beat the fuck out of whoever or stab him, it's just be like, damn.
Yeah.
And this shit started in the 70s. They just made one last year. So it's like, damn. I mean, look at the longevity of that franchise, Damn.
And I think on top of that too, it's something that could just really actually happen. Like that just could, because it's not
a true, I ain't gonna say it's not fictional because it's fictional, but at the same time, it's not like a bunch of CGI. Like when those movies, there's not a lot of CGI going into them. I mean, it's like a real deal situation, that can happen.
Basically a home invasion.
Yeah.
So that's the 101.
Okay. Me, top pick. Mr. Freddy Krueger, man. When you thought I wasn't gonna take that.
I love him.
I mean, when they hit the scene, I want to say it was in the 80s, and like, I wonder if the creators of that movie knew that they were going to become a household name at that point. They probably was taking a stab in the dark, like a guy with claws.
Nice pun.
I didn't even realize it. But I mean, that changed the culture for sure. I mean, it's like affected all kids, teenagers that thought they were doing something, and then that affected every Elm Street in the fucking country. I bet you people that live on Elm Street right now in the back of their head, they're like, "This shit don't happen." I mean, like,
I always liked him because he was just snarky and a smart ass.
oh yeah, oh Freddie was an ass. I mean, like I want to say the first couple was like really serious, and then after you got to part 3 with the Dream Warriors, oh, he became Mr. One line pun dude, and it was just like they continued on with that. But yeah, that's a character that'll be in American history forever. I mean, it's like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about longevity right there too. You know.
Mm-hmm. This came out probably early 80s. That's what I want to say. And that was like right after Mikey. So very impactful.
So I could probably wait on this other one. Yeah. All right. It feels boring to me, but you got to go, Jason.
Definitely. I mean,
It's
I want to think like he's in this same era. So the minds of these motherfuckers in the late 70s, early 80s were some sick, twisted motherfuckers because they got the greatest monsters out there that are still standing today. Like,
the crazy thing about Jason, he was so fucking brutal.
I mean, like,
Just
him and Michael Myers is pretty. I'm surprised they never had them two in the movie. I mean, you had Freddy versus Jason, but
right.
Can you imagine? Michael Myers and Jason are similar. Like, they're kind of like the same guy. So it's like, I'm surprised they never came up with a movie with them two battle with each other. But
I mean, even though it's super old,
Mikey is always concerned with his sister. Like, how are you infatuated with killing your own family? Hey, this is crazy to me.
I mean, the craziest kill I remember is always going to be when Jason got the sleeping bag and just whipped that shit against a tree and just killed the person, whipping him against the tree in a sleeping bag. I'm like, that's fucked up.
You can't see nothing, but you just feel blunt trauma.
Just god damn. But I mean, obviously, it became sillier and sillier as you went. But he just
another thing about Jason, he was notorious. Like all those Jasons, especially in the '80s, it was always some couple out fucking in the woods or something. It's almost like he was punishing them for fornicating or some shit. Like, are you punishing?
Well, that's kind of the lore, right? Because that's kind of why he drowned, because the counselors were fucking and flirting and not paying attention to him when he drowned in the lake. So that's kind of like the running trope and the running lore. But yeah, I always thought it was just kind of like, dude, you were entertaining and you just find, like, he was that guy that would find anything around him to kill you with. I'm like, look, not for nothing, man. You're just fucking you're resourceful.
What? The hockey mask, like, that changed hockey forever.
Yeah. Well, that was the old school. That was actually the old school hockey mask.
Hockey man. Yeah.
It's just bonkers. Like, if just from a hockey fan, I'm like, that felt no kind of safe.
Yeah. Like, now it's like this big old apparatus with not even close.
It's called evolution for player safety. Christ almighty. But yeah, just fun. I mean, it's always like you have the like that's like you just knew what it was, and it's almost like, yo, drop the beat. It's like, all right. Jason,
that's another thing. Like I said, Halloween, he had his own music. Jason had his own music. Like I said, I'm surprised they never made them duel off or anything like that. But they were very similar.
Please don't give them ideas. Jesus Christ, don't give them ideas.
I'm pretty sure somebody thought of it. They just maybe didn't have the budget or something like that. But another thing, and you mentioned on here the podcast before about Jason, is there's a 100-foot statue in Minneapolis Lake.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. I almost want to go there and be like, wow, that's fucking weird. Yeah, all right. It's worth the trip.
to dedicate that much to a fictional character. I mean, that's similar to, Philadelphia. They really got a statue of Rocky Balboa in there. And he's a fictional character from a movie. But to them, he's real.
Yeah, well. All right, number 2, what do you got?
This was probably even before Halloween. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, Leatherface.
Thomas Hewitt, Leatherface. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, guys, I think that came out like early 70s, like 72, 74. And it was based off a true story. You know, I mean,
on Gacy, yeah.
I mean, so I'm pretty sure, of course, they exaggerated, but it was still based off a family that was pretty much, getting stragglers off the road and killing them and eating them and shit.
Making lamps out of their skin and shit. Yeah, that's what Gacy would do. That's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah. So Leatherface, man, I've always been intrigued. I mean, even when those movies came out, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, I remember that was in the 80s, and it was like the whole family and the brother, Leatherface, go get that bitch Leatherface. And I mean, I don't know. Growing up as a kid, my mom probably shouldn't have, but she liked the scary movies, and we would watch them. She would be like, well, you got to let me know. She basically she made her own disclaimer where she was just like, now, if you watch this movie with me and you have nightmares about it, you're never going to watch another one again. So she basically let you know that, okay, go ahead and dive in with me, but you best believe you're not going to get me with the whole, parents showing their kids the wrong type of material. So she basically said, you can join in if you're not going to be severely affected. And all of us, I grew up in the house, 5 kids, and, mom and dad and all of us are into horror movies because my mom exposed us at a young age because that's what she liked it. And it was VHS tapes back then, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you got a streaming service and you can just flip through a bunch of stuff. There wasn't too much to watch. Either you had cable with HBO and a couple channels, or you had a VCR. And every Friday, you would go to motherfucking Blockbuster or the fucking some type of Center Video or Family Video and rent a bunch of dang on movies and watch them. And my mom liked to grab horror movies, and we would bake up the popcorn. Wasn't no microwaves, so my dad would actually make popcorn in this big iron cast type of pot. And he would pour grease in it and put the popcorn seeds in it, and it would pop up, popcorn. We put the butter in the seed, and we would have movie night. I mean, watch movies throughout the weekend. And, Texas Chainsaw was definitely one of them. And, all of us like horror movies. I mean, like, I ain't gonna even lie. I mean, like, some horror movies that people would probably, like, put their head and be like, oh, I be in there cracking the fuck up. It's like a weird type of morbid sense of humor, but some of that shit be funny as hell. And like me and some of my buddies, we can not see each other in 2-3 years, and we'll give each other a call up and start off with a line from one of those fucking 80 horror movies and start cracking the hell up because that was our childhood,
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw, yeah. Thomas Hewitt. And those newer ones that they came out with, like the most recent ones that I want to say they were in like 2010, 2013, they were good as fuck to me. I mean,
I didn't hate them.
I mean, and then they had a nerd to put the sergeant from Full Metal Jacket in there. Man, that dude was funny as hell. I don't know that dude's name, but that motherfucker is funny as shit.
Oh God. Robert Emery.
That's his name?
Arlie Emery, actually. Yeah.
He was sitting there. Yeah. He was like, He said, "Women like a man in a uniform," and he's grabbing his balls and shit.
Yep.
Like, get him, Thomas! And he was like, even him up. Like, and then he hit that dude in the face and was just like, that was really rude of me, wasn't it? How you gonna bust somebody across the mouth and then ask them? That was rude, wasn't it?
Oh man, where do I want to go here? Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna go with, and not the movie, but the people in the movie. Have you ever watched The Devil's Rejects?
No, but I know the ain't it? It's just like some kind of like rebel type of like a woman and two men that like go around like slaughtering people or something.
Yeah, so they made a third
like
movie.
Like some herd shit.
Yeah, they made a third movie and it was called Three from Hell. So I'm gonna refer to them as the Three from Hell.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Well, I will tell you, my kind sir, you should do this. Mark out some time, watch House of a Thousand Corpses.
I think I've seen that one.
Okay, well, The Devil's Rejects is the sequel to that.
Oh, okay, so it's like a spin-off to it. Okay.
Uh-huh. And yeah, it just God, I can't think of the names right now, and I apologize. I'm still a little loopy, but just absolute psychopaths. Just like the things they would do. They would purposely do things in front of the other people, almost like tearing the wings off of a fly in front of other flies so they see what you're doing.
Oh,
they were.
shit.
So it's just like, this is what's going to happen to you, but I'm going to make you watch it. It's like, oh God. And honestly, it's just once again, and you're kind of seeing it's something that absolutely could happen. Without question. You know, so not saying that movie may or may not come up next week. Just saying, it's fine. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I would taking the Three from Hell.
Yeah, I might have to watch it.
Your homework now is to watch The Devil's Rejects between now and next Wednesday.
Be like, I mean, so
you're just gonna be like,
I ain't paying no motherfucking $5.99 on the damn thing.
No, it'll be free in a bunch of places. That's not a worry.
Okay.
Shit, you could fucking YouTube that shit. I've been out for like 15 years.
My next one, I'm gonna go with a more modern day.
Okay.
A more modern day monster. I don't know if you've seen it, but Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, okay.
That animal, whatever that thing is.
Why?
I
was never freaked out by that thing. Why is that on your list?
Freaked out by that thing? I mean, that thing is like, it's just the things that it seems like it's still an unexplained story. Like, I don't know, like they never really explain to you like what drives it or what is it really truly after? Like, it's after, like, I guess, body parts to like rejuvenate itself, but the fact that it's still a mystery, and I don't know, I don't know about part 3 and all those other ones, but the first 2 are classics. Like Jeepers Creepers 1 and Jeepers Creepers 2 are classics. When he dang on the cat lady, when he shot her, and then he came out and acted like her and put his face behind her mouth. It's pretty brutal, yo. That was brutal to me. So, yeah.
Okay.
And then the fact that, like I said, it's just a lot of unexplained. Like, I mean, chopping heads off and biting the tongue and pulling the tongue out the head and just and it could fly, and it got a bat's arm, and it's like it was just so much unexplained stuff. And not saying that I love cliffhangers, but it's like it was unexplained, but it wasn't so unexplained that it made you mad. It was just like, I wonder. Wow. Yeah, it's just a new more modern monster that I think that, the kids, your kids is going to be, my kids and your kids is going to be, that's going to be like a staple traditional monster. It's
Okay.
not a fly by night monster.
Fair
And,
enough.
and
Well,
everybody likes the
'cause-
remake. So by the time they get old enough and they may have kids, there might be a monster remake out
Jeepers
there.
Creepers 19.
Yeah. Or Jeepers Creepers. They started completely over part 1 or 1.0 or some shit.
It's gonna be Creepers Jeepers. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Brought to you by Jeep Liberty.
This dude got the sponsorship and everything already.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers brought to you by Jeep Liberty.
Right. I'm gonna go Ghostface from Scream.
I'm about to say Ghostface Killer? What the fuck?
It's fucking stupid. Yes.
I'm like, dang, it's because this label a Wu-Tang member.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, followed up by the Risen. Yeah. So, listen, because it's just a guy. It's just a guy.
Playing
A
pranks.
snarky-ass
Not even
guy.
pranks, but just like,
Right.
and it could be 2 guys. Most of the time, it's
Right.
been 2 guys. Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't have anything special to do. I'm just gonna stab you. And I'm like,
And it has
agile and shit.
quickly, and I mean quickly, instituted itself or insinuated itself into the American fabric. Like, that is a household costume face forever. I mean, like, how did they? I mean, in today's modern world, like, how did you choose a mask that was that unique and original and distinct that it's gonna last forever?
But simple too, though.
Yeah,
but it's
very
just simple because all it is just
very
like
complex at all.
And the costume is here's a tattered black thing. Okay, that's
With
it.
a hood.
So I think what makes him great, it's just the simplicity of it. So I mean, as you've seen, for whatever reason I'm very, except for Jason, because whatever, but everything else has been very like, hey, this shit could actually happen.
Real shit, yeah.
Like, because it's not an amazing stretch to say that could happen. So I'm kind of like, I like the psychopath kind of nature of it. Like, he's not
like I said, I mean, you don't have to, when you're putting these movies on the screen, outside of the murders themselves, you don't have to CGI a lot of it. Like, it's not this big made up computer animated monster on the screen tearing shit up.
Right. And that's where I think horror has evolved in general, and this will be tapping into the conversations next week a little bit, but I think this is where horror has evolved, because it went from the crazy slasher movies to the the teen horror movies of now it's like we're all in a house in a cabin, and now a ho-dunk family's coming to get us. It's now become like, hey, come here, give me your ear. I'm gonna fuck you in your ear so I can fuck your brain. Watch this. And it's like, because then you leave. You're like, huh? Did I lock my fucking door though? That's what I like.
What number are we on?
That was number 4.
Damn, I'm pissed. I got like 2, 3 more. It's like we only got 1 to go.
Well, I got 2. You got your 4th and your 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
one more modern day, because I know you won't pick my last pick, so I'm good.
You think?
I'm safe. More modern day hero that is Halloween masks and everything, and it has changed culture as well. Saw. I mean, the dude from the Saw, he specializes in he's not killing you, but he puts you in situations where you
Are
kill
you doing
yourself.
Jigsaw? Or are you doing Tobin Bell? So you're doing Tobin Bell. You're not doing like the Jigsaw thing. You're doing Tobin Bell.
No, I'm talking about that little. As far as the mask.
Okay, so you're lumping them together. Okay, all right.
Yeah, like that. Okay. That little clown with the hey, I want to play a game. Like just the concept. Like, I mean, I'm going to spoiler alert. That is going to be one of my movies next week for sure. Just the franchise itself. I mean, the concept of
I'll give you that one.
The concept of not killing you, but putting you in position to kill yourself, or from some miracle lottery, you can somehow still survive, which is the chances are pretty much 95% you're going to die, 5% you stay alive. I mean, just that concept. I mean, that was a real mind fuck, and like that was very clever, very clever.
Do you think they beat up the franchise a bit though by like?
The franchises got killed. Like after one of like Saw 3, like they just went ham. They went to super ham sandwich with all these who's the killer and behind it. Yeah, they went overboard. It's like a lot of those franchises. Once you get past 3 or 4, it becomes garbage material after that. It's just trying to come out for the season. Like everyone's trying to hurry and get their movie done right before Halloween and see how many theaters and how many butts they can put in the seats during that Halloween fucking time frame, right? Which is pretty much right now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Huh. So let's see here. I don't really have a good number 5.
Well, you could take one of Tiff's. Pennywise is definitely one that I definitely thought about taking of hers because that was definitely that's been remade as well.
Silly,
huh?
Yeah, but that thing is so silly. That thing is so silly and over the top.
It's not it preys off of your fears and it make them come to life. But that was, I mean, the newer movies I'm not a big fan of, but the younger movies. the movies that are like in the 80s with Stephen King and I'm like, yeah, those are some pretty, scary comeback and like preying on your worst fears. Yeah, I liked the movies in the 80s. These newer ones that are on HBO or whatever, I'm not a big fan of.
Well, look, so since I'm not going to take your last pick, what's your last pick? So I got time to think of something here too.
Oh, okay. This was 70s as well. And I don't even know if you know about it, but I'm pretty sure you do.
You're going to say Leprechaun?
Fuck no. He said Leprechaun. No. Bruce Campbell in the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Okay.
Yes. Oh my God. That was one of those movies that my mom rented part 1 and part 2, and we sat down and watched that shit. And it's semi funny, but there are some parts that are, even to this day, even with that makeup and that their special effects that wasn't that good, it's still effective today to me in my brain. So it's like that Evil Dead franchise, and they've remade that multiple times as well. But
yeah,
that Evil Dead, the part 1 and part 2, like once they got to part 3, Army of Darkness, they start trying to make it funny. You don't start making horror movies, but like you might throw in little quips to make it funny throughout, but it's a serious funny. You know what I mean? But Evil Dead Part 3, Army of Darkness, it was like goofy. Like they even had like little goofy like sound effects like do 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 do. That's when they do stupid shit like that. That shit pisses me off. Like you can make jokes, but at the same time keep the movie serious as fuck.
they like changed the ratio from like, you know,
It was like all
horror
funny.
with
Like, I
some
mean,
humor.
like I wanted to be
Right.
like I wanted to horrify the fuck out of me, but at the same time, you could make a joke here and there that don't like like if he got his hand cut off and he's like, "Give me back my hand." I mean, that's some
Oh
funny
my
shit. But
god, I know what I was gonna fucking pick. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I just
no, I'm
realized.
just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm pretty much done. But yeah, Evil Dead. I knew you wasn't gonna ever pick that, but that is definitely one of the movies that affected my childhood for sure.
I'm gonna say The Demon and The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Yeah, the demon and the girl in The
Yeah, yeah,
Exorcist.
yeah. Oh. A lot of those
Once
demonic
again,
movies. A lot of those
Yeah.
demonic movies. I don't get scared of too much, but some of those movies, because the fact that they can really kind of happen and the possession really can happen, I believe in it full heartedly. Those fuck me up a little bit more than a monster running across the screen. You know what I mean? So
once again, it's a psychological thriller, and
yeah,
just
like those Exorcists, I can only watch those to a certain point, and like I might say,
we actually watched that. We actually watched that last Saturday.
oh, that new
And-
one with the two girls.
No. We watched like the OG one.
The original John.
Yeah.
He said the OG one. Yeah.
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 And
I mean,
it's just, first of all, the shit they got away with, like saying in movies, was nuts.
well, we're talking about the same age where motherfuckers will be at work and they fire up a cigarette at their desk and shit.
Right.
Can you imagine a motherfucker firing up a cigarette at their desk?
Right. But just like it's just such a creepy thing.
the fact that
Nothing
it can
overtly
really
scary,
happen.
just creepy.
The fact that it could really happen and the devil can really truly possess people creeps me out a little bit deeper.
Which
It really does.
Which once again falls in line with my whole draft. Literally, either if I could get rid of Jason, I could probably pull off another like psychological one. But yeah, like what was it, The Strangers? I think it's the group of people that just kind of went into the house and just took your shit over, and it's like, we're gonna pick you off one by one. Like once again,
that one.
home invasion.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen The Strangers.
Yeah. Well, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just an honorable mention.
Yeah. What else you got?
Like, I mean, it's not a specific movie, but in movies, like I said, there's horror movies that most of the time I find funny or amusing, but there are certain movies that I'm like, oh, that shit don't. I don't like that. Whenever there's a being or anything in a movie that moves either too fast or that like kind of got like a pause and move where they like come at you and then they jerk and then they come at you like even more, those fuck me up. Like that's what happened with the Ring girl, the girl from the Ring. It was just like, okay, she's coming out the screen, she's coming out the TV, and then next thing you know, she's like jerking at you real fast. Same thing with that Grudge movie where they like come at you and then or even some of those possession movies where they crawling down the stairs backwards and shit like that fucks me up a little bit.
It's unnerving.
Like,
okay.
That should be like, whoa, shit.
I mean, there's some terrible ones out there like Hellraiser. I never really got into that. Pinhead.
I like Hellraiser. I liked the Hellraiser. The first two. After that, they went crazy.
It just never really struck me as like a scary thing. It was more like, okay.
Well, it was this man's situation, and he had to kill people just to gather his flesh to become whatever. I mean, it was okay, but that was one of those movies that that the VHS tapes, man. I mean, like I told you, my mom was into all of them. There was even some shit called Basket Case. I'm pretty sure you don't know nothing about.
Mm-mm.
And it was like a dude and his twin. Like it was him. He was more normal. But on the side of him was his brother that was like,
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was like a little animal that got mad every time he brought a girlfriend over, and he fucking killed them and shit. That was another one my mom used to have us watching. Shit
I
was
remember.
crazy.
I remember it was Clint Howard. And it was Ron Howard's brother. He had a movie. It was called The Ice Cream Man, and basically he had an ice cream truck and he was making ice cream out of kids and he was selling it to kids.
Oh shit!
It was fucked up.
Wow. Oh, that's fucked up, though.
And if you get a chance, go look up and see who Clint Howard is, and you'll look at him and you're like, I could fucking see it. Absolutely can see it.
He said I could see it. Yeah.
Seriously, go go look him up right now. Please. I need to see this in real time.
What?
Clint Howard. Go look
Clint
go
Howard.
go on the internet. Clint Howard, yeah. Oh, he fucking left. Oh, this silly guy.
Okay, did you find Ron or Clint Howard?
Yes, that's a weird motherfucker, yo. Like I said, he played in Tango and Cash, man. He was like, if y'all who remember Tango and Cash, he was like the one of the cellmates, I think, of Sylvester Stallone, and he had like this slinky. And Stallone wrapped him up in this slinky and had him all pinned in there. But he definitely looked like he could sell ice cream out of kids and shit. He for sure do. He is a weird motherfucker. I did not know he was kidding Ron Howard. I did not.
Yeah, him and Opie are looking like they are.
Ron Howard's daughter,
They look like
delicious. You know who his daughter is?
Something. No. Oh, is it Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's delicious.
Redhead from I guess those like
Mad Men, I think.
no, Spider-Man, and she was in those Jurassic Park movies.
Oh yeah. Fun little tidbit here, and we'll end this on this because it has nothing to do with anything except what you just said. I don't know if you came across this, but Kurt Cobain's daughter just married Tony Hawk's son.
I didn't know anything about it.
Because fucking why not?
Hey, skating legend, rock and roll legend.
Yeah.
I know. Wonder what their kids is gonna produce.
It's a bit of a coin flip at that point, but yeah. But
yeah, man.
Yeah. So good show. I liked it.
Yeah, you put me down memory lane for sure. Man. I mean, I just imagine myself, 8, 10 years old, getting ready to watch some of those movies.
Well, there's a lot of content coming out. My interview I did with, this real good fella this morning. That'll get uploaded. This will get uploaded in the morning. I have another interview tomorrow that will get uploaded. And then we will see you bitches on Saturday on football, trying to break down week 8 matchups and getting all that stuff squared away. So now that we're both we both won last week, so now we can go into the week feeling good.
Not really. Not for me. I mean, it's shit.
You'll be fine.
No, I mean, I looked at his squad. I'm like, how the fuck did he lose a bunch of games with this squad? Like, what?
Well, that's when you have to look at the points for and the points against, because I'm at like 1900 and like 1880 against. It's like, okay, everyone just
everybody you play, they lay their ass right in your lap.
Yep. But my team was like, hold on, let me show you something.
I know. Your team is like, now it's like, come sit on daddy's lap so I can hand you something.
Yeah. That took a weird turn.
But yeah, let's not talk football. Okay, great
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah.
Next time we'll talk to y'all on Saturday, but as far as X's and O's, we won't. If you're just following strictly X and O's, we'll see you November 1st.
Yep. All right, brother. You can go sit on Daddy's lap. There you go.
No interest.
All right. Well, whatever you're into.
All right.
All right. Toodles.
Peace.